Hi, everyone. You found your way here. You're probably feeling it too. The heaviness of this country, of the world, the heartache, the pain, the anger, the rage, helplessness, heartbreak, worry, concern, anxiety. I can name so many feelings right now. And I'm coming today with an EFT session, tapping. For those of us who feel very deeply, who care very deeply, or are trying to navigate the overwhelm of what's happening around us right now without shutting down, navigating it without bypassing, without denying, without pretending that everything is fine, because it's not. And for many of us, so much of what we see happening is just morally out of alignment with who we are as humans. So, how can we be accepting of what's happening, not approving it, but bringing ourselves to a place where we can respond in our own way with clarity, with energy, with inner strength, with compassion. Um, yeah. So anyway, this is kind of an impromptu tapping session that I need for myself, and I thought, well, let me record it because others may need it too. So join me for a few moments. Thank you. So, for those who may not be familiar with tapping or the emotional freedom technique, let me just talk about how this technique supports where we are right now. Because when we feel emotionally overwhelmed, whether by injustice, division, the sheer pace of crisis after crisis, everything around us in the world, and perhaps in our personal lives as well, our nervous system can get stuck. Flight, fight, freeze, collapse, right? Tapping helps us regulate, release, and return to a grounded presence. And being grounded is so important right now when we feel so overwhelmed. It helps us feel clearer, helps us feel more in balance. So, the emotional freedom technique, which is also known as tapping, is a very simple way to move emotion through the body, tapping on certain meridian points and acknowledging and naming what is true to us in the moment. So, by turning into the distress, tapping on these points, we calm ourselves, we signal safety, we reset our system, even when everything around us really hasn't changed. We can feel steadier in the midst of chaos. So, I'd like to begin by just pausing and checking in and asking you to take a moment and just reflect on a specific event or an issue that's weighing on you right now, something specific. And then check in with what the emotions are that are present for you right now and name them. Name them. Grief, anger, fear, helplessness, worry. Perhaps you're numb. Just name whatever the emotions are present for that specific event or issue. And also note where you feel it in your body, too. For those emotions, on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is non existent and 10 is the most you could possibly feel of that emotion, just tune into where you are on that scale. Chances are you're probably pretty high up near the 10. And again, doing all this without judgment, meeting it all with compassion. So just make a mental note of what number you're at as we begin. And as we begin with tapping, the first thing we do is set up our session with karate points here on the side of the hand. So I invite you to follow along. Repeat after me, just quietly to yourself as you join with me in doing these different steps. And after we do the setup, we're going to do various rounds of naming those emotions, settling into allowing them to move through us, and then ending with a bit of a reframe. So if these words don't particularly resonate with you, feel free to replace them with words that might. But I, in particular, am going to be tapping on the events, and I'm recording this on January 14th, 2026. So I'm going to be tapping in and recording it based on the events that are happening right here in the States this week, the past week or so. And in particular, my own feelings of worry and even a bit of helplessness and overwhelm. Okay. All right. So we're going to begin with our setup by chopping on the side of our hand here. Even though I feel overwhelmed by what is happening in the world and in this country, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I don't approve of what I'm seeing, I honor how deeply I care. And even though I feel helpless and heavy, I'm open to meeting this moment with grounded presence. Now we're going to do the first round, tapping on various points, starting with above the eye. And again, tap with me, and you can repeat after me as well. Over the eyebrows. This is too much. Side of the eye. I can't believe what is happening. Under the eye. There is so much suffering, so much injustice. Under the nose. I feel powerless to help. I feel powerless to stop it. The chin. I don't approve of what I see. Collarbone. But it is still happening. Under the arm. And it hurts to witness it all. And top of the head. I don't know how to hold this anymore. I'm going to pause for a second. So when I started, I was probably at an 8 or a 9. And as I check in now and allow that energy to move, I can feel myself down to probably a 6. So it is kind of settling through. So we're going to do another round, opening up to the truth of what's happening, but also reconnecting with my own inner strength to navigate this. Starting again above the eye with the eyebrow. I'm allowed to feel this way. Side of the eye. Grief, worry, anger, fear, all of it. Under the eye. I am not weak because I feel deeply. Under the nose. I'm human. The chin. I don't have to pretend it's okay. And the collarbone. I can accept that this is what's happening. Under the arm. Without agreeing with it. And above the head. Acceptance doesn't mean approval. Acceptance is being present and aware. And with that round, I feel myself going down a bit to like around a 4 or so. It's definitely going down. The intensity has definitely shifted for me. So I invite you to do that check-in with yourself after that second round and notice what has softened where you feel it, but also notice where you might still be holding on to things. In those different affirmations, which ones may have felt a little harder to do and which ones maybe felt like a whoosh of energy. Okay. So we're going to do one more round. And with this tapping, you can actually do as many rounds as you'd like. I'm going to do one more today. This one's going to be about reclaiming my power and my compassion. Okay. So, starting above the eyebrow, again, repeating after me. Even in this chaos, I can return to myself. Side of the eye. I can hold my grief and my fear and my steadfastness and my power. Under the eye, I am choosing to ground my energy now. Under the nose, I send compassion to the pain, to the worry, to the anxiety. Chin, I send strength to the part of me that seeks how to respond. Collarbone, I may not be able to fix it all. Under the arm, but I am a steady light in the darkness. Above the eye, I choose clarity, choose resilience. I choose fierce compassion. I'm going to sit here for just a second. And I'm definitely down now to a 1. It's not gone. But as I'm sitting here, I'm not feeling frozen anymore. I'm not feeling that I can't do anything. I'm feeling that I can begin to choose how I respond, how I hold space for such difficult times. So check in with yourself and let me know how this, how this may have served you. Because we're all doing very deep, important work, not just for ourselves. All this work we do affects us on a collective. I absolutely believe that. And when we feel the weight of the world, it's not because we're fragile. Our hearts are open. We care. We care very deeply. But we don't have to carry it all, and we don't have to carry it all alone. So remembering that each one of us has that light within us. We have resilience. We are connected to something much bigger than us. And our hearts still choose love because love always wins. So thank you for tapping with me today. And take care of yourself. Shine your light. And do let me know how you're doing. Thank you. And take good care.